Can I ask you to take your seat? I know it's a tradition to have a 5-10 minutes delay, but I'm against that. I think we should start on time. Now is the time to welcome all of you to this seminar, which is arranged in cooperation between the Norwegian Medical Association, the International Law and Policy Institute, and the Norwegian Helsinki Committee. And I want to also thank all the speakers at the seminar who will present human rights problems and concerns as seen from different institutions and angles. In particular, I thank Metin Bakalcer, who traveled much longer than the others to participate and give his perspectives on human rights and the Kurdish issue. We think there is too little focus on Turkey in Norwegian media and public debate about the real situation in Turkey. So we hope this seminar can contribute, a small contribution, to more understanding and more attention. A major underlying question of this seminar is why we do not witness progress on human rights in Turkey. A few facts to put this in perspective. Turkey has been a member of the UN since 1945 and the Council of Europe since 1949. And both these institutions come with a lot of commitments on human rights and democratic rule. Turkey is also a party to a range of human rights treaties which oblige state authorities to ensure respect and protection for basic human rights. And Turkey has a long history of aspiring to become a member of the EU. It applied for EEC membership already in 1987 and entered the EU Customs Union in 1995. In the early 2000s, a set of reforms were introduced aiming at strengthening human rights and democracy in the country and aimed at securing EU membership. A few examples. In August 2022, death sentence was abolished, except in times of war. And bans on Kurdish education, broadcasting was lifted, at least in principle. In June-July 2003, the Parliament passed laws easing restrictions on freedom of speech, introducing Kurdish language rights, and reducing the political role of military. In January 2004, Turkey signed a protocol banning death penalty in all circumstances. In June 2004, state TV broadcasted the first Kurdish language program. And in September the same year, the Parliament approved penal reforms introducing tougher measures to prevent torture and violence against women. And as we know, in late 2004, the EU announced that accession talks would start. And they indeed started in May 2005, when the Parliament in Turkey approved amendments to a new penal code. And the EU welcomed this move, and in October the same year, EU membership negotiations officially started after intense bargaining. So this looked, at least for foreigners, us, as promising steps. Foreigners which may lack the Fingerspitzengefühl of Turkey's own human rights activists. This looks as promising starts of reforms that could lead Turkey to become much stronger on human rights protection. However, today, 10.5 years later, I think it's fair to say we're disappointed. Problems remain, and in some areas, developments tend to go in a wrong direction. Like when it comes to freedom of speech and freedom of the media, when it comes to making peace and finding a place for the Kurdish group in the country. Like when it comes to accommodating pluralism, including pluralism of life views and religion in the country. And when it comes to strengthening the independence and efficiency of the judiciary. I think this is enough for a starter. You will hear a lot about the problems. To solve these problems is important for those who live in Turkey. They are those who suffer from the human rights violations. But also remember, Turkey is an important country for Europe and for the wider world. It could become a model of a democratic state in a country with a strong, although far from homogeneous, Muslim majority. However, in order to become such a model, comprehensive legal and policy reforms are strongly and clearly needed in a lot of areas, a lot of aspects, in order for Turkey to progress. With these words, I will introduce, I would say, our main speaker today, which is Metin Bakkalçe. I think it's not I, but E in the end of your last name, Bakkalçe. I've been in Turkey enough times to know that this E at the end is actually not a Norwegian, Scandinavian E. You are the Secretary General of the Human Rights Foundation of Turkey, which has been cooperating partnering with Norwegian organizations for as long as I almost can remember, for a very long time. So it's a great privilege to introduce you. Your organization plays a crucial role in fighting against torture, in helping torture victims, in confronting the problems of trauma, which affects a large part of the Turkish society, and in documenting human rights abuses. Please, Metin, the floor is yours.